Right now, you're probably watching this in bed. Maybe it's late. Maybe you told yourself just one more video. And honestly, same. But here's a question nobody asks. What did people do at night before any of this existed? No Netflix, no YouTube, no phone, no light switch, no lamp, not even a candle. Just darkness. Complete, total, terrifying darkness for roughly 12 hours every single night. So, what did ancient humans actually do? Just sit there and stare at nothing? The answer is going to surprise you because it turns out nighttime was the most important part of their entire day. First, let's understand the situation. We're talking about humans from roughly 50,000 to 300,000 years ago. No agriculture yet, no cities, no civilization, just small groups of people, maybe 20 to 50 living together. And every single night the sun went down and everything went dark. Now you might think, okay, they probably just went to sleep, right? Simple. Early to bed, early to rise. Wrong. Anthropologists who study modern hunter-gatherer tribes, the closest thing we have to ancient humans today, found something completely unexpected. These people don't go to sleep when it gets dark. Not even close. In fact, studies show they stay awake for an average of 3 hours after sunset. Every single night. So if they're not sleeping, what are they doing? The answer starts with one thing: fire. Ancient humans had controlled fire for at least 400,000 years, and fire didn't just keep them warm. Fire completely changed what nighttime meant. Think about it. Before fire, night was just danger, predators, cold, fear. You hid, you survived. That's it. But once humans had fire, night became time, free time, social time, the first hangout in human history. Researchers studied the Juhwanzi people of Botswana, one of the oldest surviving hunter-gatherer cultures on Earth, and they found something beautiful. During the day, people talked about practical stuff: work, food, tasks, basically the ancient version of work emails. But at night, around the fire, everything changed. The conversations became different, deeper, stranger, more alive. Night talk was story talk. And this is where it gets genuinely fascinating. Around 80% of nighttime conversations in these ancient communities were stories. Not gossip, not complaints, stories. Stories about hunts that went wrong, stories about strange things seen in the forest, stories about people who did something brave or incredibly stupid. And not just any stories, supernatural stories. Spirits, monsters, strange forces in the world. Sound familiar? Because what you're really hearing is the birth of entertainment before Netflix, before books, before theater. There was a fire, a dark sky, and someone saying, "Okay, you're not going to believe what happened last night," and everyone leaned in. Researchers believe this nightly storytelling is literally why humans developed complex language, imagination, and social bonding. Your ability to enjoy a story, any story, including this one right now, came from those nights around the fire, which is kind of incredible when you think about it. Now, eventually, they did sleep, but not the way you sleep. Here's something that will make you feel better about your 3 a.m. phone scrolling. Ancient humans almost certainly did not sleep in one long 8-hour block. That idea, the 8 hours straight thing, is actually a modern invention. Historians and sleep researchers believe ancient humans slept in 2 separate chunks. First sleep from roughly midnight to 2 a.m., then they'd wake up, be awake for an hour or two, then second sleep until dawn. That's middle of the night wake up. That was considered completely normal. People would use that time to think, to pray, to talk quietly. Some historians believe the most creative thoughts happened in that window. So next time you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't sleep, congratulations. You're basically prehistoric. But it wasn't all storytelling and cozy campfires. Because here's the thing everyone forgets. The darkness outside that fire was genuinely dangerous. Cave lions, hyenas, leopards. These predators didn't sleep at night. They hunted at night. So while one group was telling stories and laughing, someone was always watching, always listening, facing the darkness so everyone else could relax. Every single night, without fail, no alarm system, no security camera, no locks. Just a person, a fire, and the sounds of the African night. That's a level of alertness and responsibility most of us will never understand. And yet, that's exactly how your ancestors kept you alive long enough to exist. So let's answer the question. What did ancient humans do all night with no Netflix? They sat around fires and told stories for hours. They laughed, they bonded, they scared each other. They slept in 2 separate chunks, not one long block. And they took turns protecting each other from genuine danger. But here's the twist that I keep thinking about. We replaced all of that with screens. We still gather at night. We still want stories. We still want to be scared, to laugh, to feel something. The only thing that changed is we used to do it together. Now we do it alone, in separate rooms, on separate devices. Ancient humans had no Netflix, but every night they had each other. Maybe we're the ones missing out. What made you think? Drop a comment below. What do you think you would do at night with no screens? And if you want to know what ancient humans did all day before jobs existed, that video is right there. Trust me, it's worth it.